Hello everyone, Treecks here, and welcome back to Pokémon Puzzle League. This is going to be part 11. There's only 3 more modes that we need to clear in this game. 2 of them we technically already cleared, however, there was apparently more to do. The one-player stadium actually has a super hard mode still to do, and the Puzzle University still has the special classes to do. But since both of them are actually unlockable, I think those are better saved for last. And that means there's only 1 more mode that we need to clear that we have not even touched yet. And spoiler alert, this one actually does not have anything special to unlock afterwards, so this one we're not going through twice. The whole reason why I actually saved this one up to this point. The spa surface is actually up next. The line clear game or stage clear game of Pokémon Puzzle League. At least if you compare it to Panel de Pon / Tetris Attack. Even though the mode itself is perhaps not the most interesting one to play, I feel, I do still think this game actually made something really nice out of it. Let's go in and let's see what I'm actually talking about. Oh, hello. Welcome to the Pokémon League Spa. We offer the finest relaxation facilities for all League Pokémon. We are currently booked up for the afternoon. However, I think we can make an exception and squeeze you in. I see you have a Squirtle and a Bulbasaur. We will gladly take them off your hands for you. Uh-oh. Ha ha ha! You silly fool! This false Pokémon spa service was a success! We have stolen every trainer's Pokémon. Catch us if you can! Okay, Team Rocket, eh? Well, well, well. It looks as if someone is trying to get back the stolen... I mean, our hard-earned Pokémon. Sure. Fine. Let's play a little game of hide and seek. We will hide in different locations throughout the village. If you can find us and make us appear, then we will return all of the Pokémon. So, here's the only rule. You must clear all of the blocks above the white clear line. If you can do that, then you will win the stage and can move on to the next one. So, let's see what you've got. And there is the gist of Spa Service.
We're ready whenever you are.
Team Rocket is apparently running a false spa service here. And they actually stole all of the trainers' Pokémon in the puzzle village. And while we play through this game, as you can see, line clear game, if you move the stack upward far enough, a clear line will appear. And while we play through this, Team Rocket themselves actually start playing hide and seek, you might say. They will keep on changing costumes and therefore be somewhat of an ultimate throwback to the anime. Because all of these costumes should look familiar if you're familiar with the anime. This first one in particular is actually based on the first anime movie, in all honesty. But that's also still part of the anime, of course, so... That actually makes this mode pretty interesting. Team Rocket is actually going to be the host of this mode, which is of course very similar to Stage Clear from Tetris Attack. 5 stages for each world, for a total of 6 worlds. And for every single world, of course, things get more difficult. It starts off pretty easy. As you can see, we have a speed level, as you can see to the right. It's currently at 2, because this is stage 2. But you can imagine the further we get, the faster this will actually go. Just like in Stage Clear in Tetris Attack, eventually things will go pretty fast and therefore making it very difficult. The start of this mode is really easy. Functions pretty much the same as Antis mode if you play it on easy. But the block speed will increase the further we get. And also the speed level will increase the further we get. Let's use this first world in order to get used to this mechanic. And that was stage 2. Number 3.
Show us what you got.
The gist of all of the stages when you're still in the same world is actually nothing more than a slight increase in the speed level. And the start of the stage will also be higher up. As you might have noticed, if you compare stage 3 to 2 and 1, the start of the stack was actually a little bit higher at the beginning. And that's also something you can expect the further you get into a world. The moment you get to a new world, of course, the level will increase. Not just the speed level, but also the block level. Making them fall faster and therefore making it more difficult to make good combos and chains. And therefore stopping your stack.
Way to go!
The stop mechanic, the Jigglypuff we see to the right. And therefore the increase in speed level will also become more difficult. That's basically the increase in challenge in this mode.
All right, let's go.
Indeed, let's go. Let's go finish off World 1. We've talked more than enough about how this works. That's pretty obvious by this point, so let's go finish off this first round. And like I said, just like in Tetris Attack, and therefore it's not per se a surprise, but all of the rounds or worlds actually have 5 stages to go through. Then you can move on to the next. In this case, extra interesting, because then we can see where Team Rocket is going to hide next, and therefore which costume they're going to wear next. One of the few things I can actually appreciate from the anime. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of it. There's actually a little bit too many things wrong with it, I feel. More on that later, perhaps. But one of the few things I do really like about it is actually the role that Team Rocket has in the anime. Especially all of their little dress-up parties. They come up with the weirdest things. Like you can see over here. This little Viking kind of dress-up party they have. In the middle of the storm during the movie. That's something I can definitely appreciate. But in the meantime, we are in the final stage of round 1. And therefore, we can actually try to finish it off.
Way to go!
I'm not too sure if the number of lines you need to clear actually changes up. Because I always have the feeling that no matter which stage you play, that's always the same. It only changes up in later rounds. But I think it actually does increase a little bit, because I can remember in the first stage it actually appeared pretty much immediately. And not so much here. But the difference is... Ooh, awesome! Got that entire bottom line. But anyway, the difference can't be too great. I think all 5 stages per round pretty much have the same number of lines you need to clear.
I'm a Pokemon master.
With a slight difference. But anyway, round 1 is cleared. This has been the introduction, you might say. Learning how it works. Still pretty easy. But now we are going to move on. And hopefully make it a little bit more difficult. Well, it seems that you have beginner's luck. If you were truly skilled, then you would know that when you do combos and chains, the scroll speed of the blocks will pause for a brief moment. While it stops, you'll see a Jigglypuff shown on the right side of the screen. As your pause time decreases, the Jigglypuff will get angry. If it is gone, then the blocks will start scrolling again. True puzzle masters make sure to keep doing combos and chains. Let's see if you can find us again. Bye! Okay, that was something we already knew, but still.
Prepare to battle.
I think this is the first time it actually gets spoken out like that. How the Jigglypuff actually works. Of course, we already knew the moment you make combos and chains, the stack will stop for a moment, like over here. But it never really talked about the fact that whenever you keep on making combos and chains, even making them bigger, that number can actually increase. As you can see over here, I'm making a chain right now, and the further that chain becomes, the bigger the number of the stop actually becomes. It's now 8, 7, and then another chain happens, and therefore it stops for a moment, and then starts decreasing again. That's pretty much how that works. Never really got spoken out. And of course, it immediately runs out the moment you rise the stack manually by pressing the L and R buttons. But it's definitely pretty handy to know, especially in a mode like this, where you actually need to try to clear lines as quickly as possible. And especially in the later rounds where the block speed actually becomes really fast, it's a lot more difficult to actually outpace the increase of the blocks. And therefore making use of this pause mechanic, the stop mechanic. That's actually pretty handy to know. There we go. This also works. This not so much. Yeah, you can already notice that block speed actually increased a little bit. It's not incredibly fast yet, but it is actually already noticeably faster than it was in the first round. Okay, here comes the clear line. Yeah, the further you get, the more difficult it actually becomes making awesome chains. Block speed actually becomes a little bit too fast for that at some point. But this speed is actually something I can still cope with. Making times 5 and 6 still possible here.
All right, let's go.
Alright, now let's go talk about Team Rocket themselves. I'm not too sure where this costume actually originated from. It's from early on in the series, I'm pretty sure. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the series and therefore I've not really followed it along all that well. But I did follow it a little bit better in the beginning, and I think this is actually from the time that Ash Ketchum is about to go to a gym. I think it's the third one. The moment he actually enters the Vermilion gym, I think this is the time and place where Team Rocket actually starts appearing in this costume to cheer him on, so to say. Even though they're officially just after his Pikachu, of course, like they always do. Okay, this is pretty awesome, and therefore we are done. Awesome. Almost 6 minutes in game time.
Okay, let's see what you can do.
What I can do, perhaps try to go for reaching the halfway point in this episode. And therefore I also need to clear World 3. Because like I said, just like in Tetris Attack, this mode actually also has 6 rounds to go through. And therefore, the halfway points after World 3. That's perhaps something I could try to reach. There's 6. Still need to do one more stage after this one, so even stage 2 is not quite done yet, of course. Here's the clear line. The moment you see the clear line, you don't have to blindly go for combos and chains anymore. All you need to do is actually reach a point where you can knock all of your blocks below that line. Like this. You of course can continue trying to make combos and chains with all of the blocks you have in order to get a high score. That's also something you could go for.
We're ready whenever you are.
Usually I don't consider this mode really suiting to try to go for high scores, but of course, officially you can. Because unlike most other modes in this game, this mode does keep track of your high scores, you can see. So you can actually try to challenge yourself and see how far you can get in your score. And then of course it is beneficial to keep on going, even though the clear line is already visible. But on the other hand, you can also actually try to go for a time high score. That's something I usually prefer over the actual score high score. Whenever I try to go for challenging myself in this mode, I usually go for speedrunning it. And therefore not per se clearing it with the highest score possible, but more in the fastest time possible. Because there's also still an in-game clock, of course. And trying to keep that one limited, that's also something nice you could try out. Ah, screwed that final one up. But no matter, we are done. It's a little bit too late for that final one.
Yippee!
But at least we have cleared World 2. Or Round 2 as it officially called. Let's move on to number 3. Alright. So those weren't the best disguises. Oh, by the way, in case you haven't noticed, if you do chains and combos, while your blocks are almost at the top of the screen, then the screen scroll pause will go slightly slower than normal. Let's see if you can find us now. Yeah, I was trying to go for a Meowth voice this time around.
Show us what you got.
I'm not really the best at Meowth's voice, I think, but still. In round 2 I was actually going more for a James voice, if you have not noticed, but perhaps I'll do Jessie next time around. Not too sure yet. Okay, this is already noticeably faster. Still not too difficult. Yeah, this I can still work with. This definitely feels more like normal mode if you compare it to Endless. It's not quite hard yet. It does feel like normal, so... And at the beginning of the project, you may remember when I was playing normal, I wasn't even able to clear time attack mode, so... Normal's already giving me a lot more trouble when it comes to making chains. But still, not impossible.
Alright, let's go.
Okay, and this particular disguise I think I do recognize. The last one I wasn't too sure of, but this one I think I do recognize. This one is actually from the Cerulean Gym, I think. In the anime, the story is that the Cerulean Gym is not just led by Misty like it is supposed to in the games, of course. But there they actually came up with the story that Misty also has a couple of sisters that actually give water shows and stuff like that. And I think they actually broke into those water shows wearing these disguises. I think that's actually where this disguise comes from. And this particular disguise actually also gives away why I like Team Rocket's disguises so much. Because they do this more often. Whenever they go for disguises, whenever Jessie and James actually start disguising themselves as a man and a woman, they usually change stuff around. It is usually James that actually disguises himself as the woman and Jessie as the man. Always thought that was hilarious. Like in this case. But anyway, ballet costumes aside, we're also still playing a game, of course, so... Let's go to stage 3 quickly, 17 minutes into the video. We're still on schedule and actually reaching the halfway point at the end of this episode. So perhaps we can do this mode in 3 episodes. Because it's not going to be a surprise, the later half of this is obviously a lot more difficult and therefore it's not going to go as fast-paced as this one. The block speed will be fast-paced, but not per se my gameplay. So if this first half actually already gives me trouble doing it in 20 minutes, I'm not going to assume the second half I'm going to be able to do in 20 minutes. I'm counting on doing this mode in 3 episodes, therefore. This first half at least I should be able to actually do. Just like in Tetris Attack, because if you followed along the Tetris Attack project as well, you might remember when I did stage clear there, I also ended the first episode of it at the halfway point.
We're ready whenever you are.
Let's see if we can repeat that here. I'm not sure what my time and score was back then. I think a little bit higher than right now, because like I explained during Endless, I think the Tetris Attack mechanics work a little bit better for me, so usually I'm a little bit better in that game. This one's also not going too bad. At least when it comes to video time, I'm actually on par with that, it looks like. 2 more stages to do. There's another ×5. Which is not a guarantee anymore on this speed. Okay, let's move up so we can actually find the clear line. Then it's time to finish it off. ×4, ×5, 6, and done! The best combos in the game are not per se the puzzle combos, but the fanfare combos. Finishing the stage with an awesome chain, therefore getting a fanfare, and also getting a fanfare after that because of beating the stage. Those are my favorite ones. Easiest accomplished in Puzzle University, of course. Especially in the 3D puzzles, but still. Always awesome to hear. Let's do the final stage of the day. We're approaching 20 minutes as we speak. And therefore, perfect time to stop at this final stage, reaching the halfway point of Spa Service. Here's the clear line. Now let's go reach it.
Way to go! Way to go!
And next time we've got our work cut out for us, because this was all just introduction, relatively easy. Round 4 and onwards, of course, not going to be this easy anymore. Not quite done yet, but this time we will be. And here we go.
Yeah, we won!
So, that was the first half of Spa Surface. Let's go move on so we can pause the game and... Wait, what? We are Butch and Cassidy, also known as Team Rocket 2. We are so much better than Team Rocket. Oh? Special stage? Do you think that you will defeat us? Give it your best shot, loser. Okay. The rivals of Jesse and James from the anime also appear, apparently.
What are you waiting for?
It's payback time.
Ooh, and this functions as a boss stage, it looks like. Similar to how the special stage from Tetris Attack worked. Ooh, and the block speed is really fast here. This is not easy. Okay, one thing of note, you actually don't have to beat this stage. Of course, in order to get the best possible score, you do want to beat it, but this stage is actually not required to beat. It is indeed just a special stage. But just like in Tetris Attack, this special stage is actually meant in order to teach you how the final boss of this mode is going to work. In this boss form, you might say. With the health bar to the left. And if you beat it, you also get an extra cutscene, so for that reason it's also fun.
No fair! We want another chance!
Bye, guys. And also bye to you guys, because Treecks out. See you next time for the next round.